There are places on this earth that hold an energy, a raw, powerful presence you feel the moment you arrive. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel is one of those places. It stands alone, a magnificent castle carved into the untamed wilderness of the Canadian Rockies. They call it the Castle in the Rockies, but I see something else. I see a beacon, a massive stone structure that has absorbed over a century of human emotion. Joy, laughter, celebration, sorrow, tragedy, loss. The mountains that cradle this hotel are ancient. To understand the hauntings, you have to understand the history. This place didn't just appear. The Canadian Pacific Railway, William Cornelius Van Horne, wanted to build a string of grand hotels across Canada. Construction began in 1887 in a remote, rugged location. The original wooden structure opened in 1888. After a fire destroyed the original wooden wing in 1926, it was rebuilt in the Scottish baronial style to look like a castle, a fortress. It's a maze of long corridors, winding staircases, hidden nooks. For over 100 years, this structure has been a silent witness. We investigate places like this to understand what lies beyond. Of all the spirits said to linger at the Banff Springs, none is more famous than the Ghost Bride. Her story is a heartbreaking tale of a promise cut short. The legend dates back to the late 1920s. A young woman was about to be married in the hotel's Grand Cascade Ballroom. The staircase was lined with candles, but as she made her way down, the hem of her long dress caught fire on one of the open flames. In a panic, she stumbled, falling down the unforgiving stone steps to her death. A moment of pure joy turned into one of absolute tragedy. Her spirit is said to remain forever bound to the place where her life and her dreams ended so violently. Guests, staff have reported seeing a veiled figure gliding down that same staircase. Others have seen her dancing alone in the Cascade Ballroom, waiting for the first dance with the groom that never came. Her energy is one of sadness, of loss. Not all spirits at the Banff Springs are born from tragedy. Some seem to linger out of sheer dedication. That's the story of Sam Macaulay. Sam was a head bellman at the hotel for decades, starting in the 1930s and working until his retirement in 1967. He was known for his kindness, his professionalism, his uncanny ability to be there right when you needed him. He passed away in 1975, but many believe he never truly left his post. A guest needs help with their bags, or they're locked out of their room. Suddenly, this kind, older gentleman appears, assists them without a word, and then vanishes. Staff members who have been there for years often pull out an old photograph. The guest points and says, "That's him." They then inform them that the man in the photo is Sam Macaulay, and he's been dead for decades. These aren't frightening encounters. They are comforting. Sam's spirit seems to be continuing his duties in the afterlife. A protector, a helper. When you walk the halls of the 9th floor, his favorite floor, you might hear the faint jingle of keys or see a fleeting figure in the corner of your eye. Beyond the famous legends of the bride and the bellman, the Fairmont Banff Springs is alive with countless other whispers. These are the subtle, personal experiences that happen to everyday guests and staff members. Like the faint sound of a party from an empty ballroom, or the disembodied footsteps that follow you down a deserted corridor late at night. There's also that uncanny feeling of being watched when you're completely alone in your room. They speak of elevators that operate on their own, stopping at floors where no one is waiting. Lights flicker on and off in rooms confirmed empty. Room doors rattle. Guests open them to find empty hallways. People will catch a fleeting glimpse of a figure behind them in a mirror, then turn and find nothing. They are small, unnerving occurrences that accumulate over time, painting a picture of a building that is never truly empty. The hotel seems to breathe, to have a life of its own after all the guests have gone to bed. There are some stories that are so dark, a location will do anything to erase them. If you walk down the 8th floor hallway today, you'll notice something strange. Room 871, Room 872, Room 874, Room 873 is missing. The space where the door should be has been sealed, plastered over and blended into the wall as if it never existed. The legend speaks of a horrific event that took place inside that room decades ago. A family was brutally murdered. Bloody handprints appeared on the bathroom mirror. Those prints could not be washed away. They removed the door, boarded up the entrance, plastered over the wall, erasing the room from the hotel's floor plan. But you can't erase energy. You can only contain it. Guests in adjacent rooms 872 and 874 reported muffled screams, banging, crying. The hotel removed the door, but not the haunting. They just locked it in. The ninth floor, Sam the Bellman's preferred domain, is also the location of a much more somber tale. This story involves a hotel employee, a bartender who worked in one of the hotel's lounges. One night after his shift, he took his own life within the hotel walls, an act of ultimate desperation, leaving behind an energy of profound sorrow and regret. His spirit is said to remain, forever replaying his final tragic hours. Staff working late report an overwhelming feeling of sadness, sounds of glass breaking with nothing found. The bartender's spirit seems stuck in a cycle, wiping the same spot, replaying his last night. This haunting is a stark contrast to the helpful presence of Sam on the very same floor. On one end of the hall, comfort; on the other, crushing sadness. For a long time, the Fairmont Banff Springs was reluctant to speak about its resident spirits. For a luxury establishment, a reputation for being haunted could be seen as a liability. Over time, something shifted. The hotel began to realize ghostly tales weren't driving people away. In fact, they were drawing them in. The legend of the Ghost Bride and Sam the Bellman became part of the hotel's identity. Today, the hotel offers guided historical and heritage ghost tours, guides leading groups through winding corridors and grand ballrooms. They point out the infamous staircase and the sealed-off space where Room 873 once stood. Around Halloween, the hotel hosts themed dinners and tours. They turned a potential PR nightmare into a marketing tool. A brush with the paranormal draws visitors from far away. They balance 5-star luxury with 5-star hauntings, inviting the world to listen. Why are we so drawn to places like the Fairmont Banff Springs? What is it about a haunted hotel that captures our imagination so completely? They offer a glimpse into the great unknown, a peek behind the curtain that separates life and death. In our modern world, so much is explained by science and logic, but a genuine paranormal experience defies all of that. Walking the halls of the Banff Springs, you move through layers of time. You can feel the echoes of those who lived, loved, and died there. We seek these experiences to feel the story, to challenge our understanding, to maybe find proof there is something more. Each unexplained noise, each spectral sighting, could be a piece of the puzzle. In places like the castle in the Rockies, that energy never truly fades. It waits in the shadows, ready to tell its story. It waits in the shadows, ready to tell its story.